Most likely, when you see a squirrel, you picture one with brown or gray fur. Alternatively, you probably picture a lizard with dark green scales gliding across water when you hear the word alligator. However, did you know that some alligators have snow-white scales and some squirrels have white fur? It is accurate. These animals are a few instances of albinos. Imagine watching a brown or gray squirrel with a white squirrel collecting nuts. Although they both look like squirrels, one has white fur. Many different kinds of animals exhibit this phenomenon. Learn about some of the whitest, rarest creatures on Earth. Discover the distinction between leucism-prone and albino animals as well. The animals in this movie are either snow white by nature or as a result of their peculiar genes. So let's dive in. Number 10. Albino rabbit. It's likely that you've seen numerous rabbits with white fur in addition to various hues in their coat. What distinguishes an albino rabbit, then? A rabbit that is albino must have red eyes and solid white fur. A genetic abnormality results in aberrant coloring in albino rabbits. This manifests as a solid white fur coat with crimson eyes. Rabbits of any breed are susceptible to this genetic mutation. Like all rabbits, albino rabbits are wonderful pets. When taking care of an albino rabbit, there are a few unique factors to take into account. To start with, they are more susceptible to heat and sunshine due to their white fur. Furthermore, this rabbit might not have as good of vision as rabbits with darker eyes. As a result, compared to other varieties of rabbits, their outdoor exercise and other activities require a little closer supervision. Number 9. Albino alligators. It doesn't seem appropriate to include an alligator on a list of fluffy creatures. You do realize that alligators have brown eyes and dark green scales? Well, most of the time this is true. However, the albino alligator is a fascinating exception. Due to a genetic abnormality, the skin of an albino alligator is devoid of color. Thus, all of these alligators are white creatures with pale pink eyes. This alligator has a disadvantage even though it appears to have the same degree of vision as its green relatives. It cannot blend in with its surroundings due to its stark white skin. It is hence open to predators. Furthermore, it can burn if it spends too much time in the sun due to its pale skin. Because they have cold blood, alligators require a specific period of time in the sun to warm their bodies. Number 8. Albino peacock cichlids. Albino peacock cichlid is a name that sounds a little strange. Albino describes this fish's appearance more vividly, even though its name includes the term peacock. This fish has a genetic abnormality that has turned it completely white with red eyes. These fish, which are found in warm water lakes in eastern Africa, are around 6 inches long. Predators might consume these bright fish at any time, which is not surprising. An albino peacock cichlid finds it extremely difficult to conceal itself. Aquariums containing albino peacock cichlids are common among fish hobbyists. Despite lacking the vibrant scales of other cichlids, they get along well with a variety of species. These white creatures can make a lovely contrast in an aquarium with lots of vibrant fish. Number 7. White Great Dane. Another animal on this list that is albino is the white Great Dane. Brindle, fawn, black, and silver fur coat hues are among those seen on Great Danes. A genetic mutation causes the fur of a white Great Dane to turn white and the eyes to turn light blue. A few bright patches can be seen on the coat of some white Great Danes. Regretfully, the majority of white Great Danes are born deaf due to a hereditary abnormality. A white Great Dane's deafness means that its new owner will need to provide this dog with additional care and direction. Despite having a very different appearance from the classic Great Dane, these canines still have the same kind, loving personality. Number 6. White kangaroo. One of the rarest spectacles in nature can be witnessed if you ever come across a white kangaroo. As you are aware, brownish-gray fur makes up the majority of kangaroos. Naturally, a white kangaroo is not white. Experts surmise that the reason behind their white fur is a disorder known as leucism. Albinism and leucism are not the same. An animal with leucism has white fur and dark eyes, whereas albino animals have red eyes and white fur. White kangaroos in zoos tend to live longer than those in the wild, as one might predict. Even though they coexist in a mob of other kangaroos, predators can easily identify snow-white kangaroos. Sadly, unlike their brownish-gray relatives, they are unable to fit into their natural environment. Number 5. Arctic fox. The only animal on this list with naturally white fur is the Arctic fox. Winter and summer hues are displayed by Arctic foxes. An Arctic fox's coat is entirely white during the winter. Nevertheless, its coat turns a brownish-gray in the spring and summer. The Arctic fox's coat acts as a kind of camouflage during both the winter and the warmer months. It is so somewhat protected from predators all year round. An Arctic fox's winter coat, which is naturally white, keeps it warm even in below freezing conditions. Its lighter brownish-gray coat allows the fox to live comfortably in the warmer months of spring and summer. Consider it as you would when you go from wearing winter-themed clothing to summer-themed apparel. Number 4. White squirrel. Even though they are the hardest to spot, white squirrels can still be found if you keep an eye out. Naturally, squirrels are not white. The eastern gray squirrel's defective gene is the cause of the lack of color. Leucism is the ability to decrease all skin pigmentation, including melanin in a squirrel with white fur. For this reason, white squirrels are not regarded as albino animals. Their fur is marked with black or gray and their eyes are dark. Certain white animals actually have a gray stripe running down their backs. We refer to this as a dorsal stripe. There are no unique health problems affecting white squirrels. They exhibit the same habits, consume the same foods, and reside in the same habitats as other squirrels. Unfortunately, because of their hue, predators can notice them easily. Number 3. White koala bear. One of the rarest sights in the wild and in captivity is a white koala bear. A recessive gene causes a white koala bear to grow a white coat. These koalas aren't considered albino koala bears because of their black eyes. Compared to gray or brown koala bears, white koala bears are not different in terms of health problems. However, once more, a white koala bear that is able to fit into its environment is less vulnerable to predators than one that does not. One happy Australia zoo in Queensland welcomed a white koala bear cub named Joey. Number 2. Albino frog. Which frogs are considered snow white animals? Indeed, frogs with albinos. There is no distinct kind of frog that is an albino frog. It is the one with albinism, a recessive gene. Their ruby eyes and flawless white skin sparkle. Albino frogs are not particularly affected by their lack of color, despite the fact that their appearance sets them apart from most other frog species. Due to their striking physical differences from other frogs, albino frogs are a popular pet. This is fortunate because, owing to their high visibility, albino frogs in the wild would be highly vulnerable to predators. These frogs occasionally have a pink tint to their bodies. This is due to the fact that their papery skin shows off their blood vessels. To make sure the frog isn't receiving too much light, owners of these frogs must keep an eye on the amount of light in the aquarium. Number 1. White peacock. A peacock is on a list of winter-colored animals, which seems unlikely. A white peacock spreads its white feather fan like a mythical creature. But these birds are real. White peacocks aren't albino. Their leucism matches other species on this list. Like peacocks, these birds have dark eyes and blue, green, and black feathers. All white peacocks are captive on farms and in zoos. The white peacocks fan out their wings and dance like the multicolored ones. The train or fan of feathers can be 4 to 5 feet long. Some believe white peacocks represent unconditional love. Wow, we covered a lot of amazing albino animals. From shimmering snakes to snow white whales, each one was truly unique. Did you know a group of albino squirrels is called a shimmer? Remember, beauty comes in all colors, even the ones that stand out from the crowd. If you spotted an albino animal in the wild, wouldn't it be incredible? Share your wildlife encounters in the comments, and let's see who's seen the most unusual creatures.